Welcome, everybody, to Wrestling with the Week. We're back, baby, like a ripcord lariat that we ducked and countered with a big old German suplex on the last 7 days. I told you it was complex. I'm your host, James Williams, joined as always by Scorpio Sky.
James, what a week. We are
What a
back. We are
Yep.
back. We are back. I'm so excited to be back. I am sipping on this summer edition Red Bull, which I believe is new. It's kind of interesting. And we got a lot to get into, man.
We got a lot to get into. We're going to be talking about Sky's back on the road this week. We're going to be hearing a little bit about that. I also want to hear more about what the summer flavor of Red Bull is. We're talking about there's fancy shoes all over AEW content. We're going to be talking about that. And we got a huge interview with Tony Khan. So this show is packed, jam-packed. Real quick, though, Sky, what is summer flavor Red Bull? I'm immediately getting distracted.
It's a green can, which is
Okay.
It says it's dragon fruit.
There we go. All right.
I don't know what an actual dragon fruit sounds like. Like, you ever have these flavors of drinks, right? And or candies. Like, a grape drink doesn't taste like an actual grape, right?
Oh, no, heavens no.
And like a watermelon drink doesn't taste like a watermelon. I don't know if we went over this. I had a Monster birthday cake energy drink.
Yep.
It tasted exactly like birthday cake frosting, and it was terrible. I love Monster, but holy cow, that one was way too sweet. I also recently had a Coca-Cola coffee beverage. That was fantastic. First flavor was Coca-Cola. Second flavor was coffee. I'm on board with both of them.
Well, because those are two things that you drink. You don't drink a birthday cake. I think is how I've once had ice cream. I live in Los Angeles. You probably know about this as well. You also live in Los Angeles some of the time. But there are lots of boutique ice cream places, and they make like weird, wacky flavors. Like, it's almost like Willy Wonka now. They're just trying to figure out what they can do to one-up each other. And I had a campfire ice cream scoop. And it not s'mores, mind you, campfire. And I took a bite of it, and I went, holy cow. They made ice cream taste like campfire. Like, it tasted exactly like campfire. And then I went, I don't want to eat any more of this.
I was like, is that good?
No, it wasn't. It was like science impressive, flavor bad, but I digress.
Well, all I need Red Bull or Monster or Coca-Cola to come out with a tequila mix flavor, and I'm good to go. You know me, brother. Oh, I just unplugged my headphones.
That's the new thing. You get too hyped up, and then you unplug your headphones.
Yeah.
We're talking
Project Rock.
Yeah, I will. We're talking about a lot of stuff this week. But I wanted to get started talking about you, Sky. I feel like, the previous episodes we check in every single week. I get to hear from you. This we haven't gotten to do that as much. Because we took a couple weeks off. So I want to hear what are things going on with you? What are you up to?
Well, I'm back on the road. I'm fresh. I'm clean. The time is right and blinging a little bit. I just got to get that out there. But that's enough about me. I cannot wait any longer. There's something I need to address. I've been wanting to talk about this for a week. Did you see any or all of the Triller Jake Paul Ben Askren pay-per-view?
So I pride myself on watching as little Jake Paul as possible. So I only saw the clip that was going around. But I have seen what people are reacting to, I think. But what did I miss?
You missed out. So now I've got to figure it out, because I have to be honest. I did have a good amount of soda pops heading into watching the pay-per-view.
Your stomach was grumbling. Yeah, I gotcha.
But I had so much fun watching it. It was so cool. Like, they had some live performances from artists. But here's one of my favorite parts of the pay-per-view. This is real. This is a shoot. They had a, I guess, former professional boxer who is 8-0 with 8 knockouts fight a reggaeton artist with 0 fighting experience. Why did this fight happen? Because apparently the boxer was at a club, met some girl that was in the entourage of the reggaeton artist, got her Instagram, tried to DM her, and the reggaeton artist, kind of blocked him, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
so and so he was mad. They're like, "Oh, we're gonna go on pay-per-view, we're gonna fight." And the reggaeton artist was down for it and like
yeah.
win a couple of rounds. I'm like, this is as pro wrestling as it gets. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Somehow it's real, allegedly. But
Yeah.
like I had so much fun, dude. This if they run again, and I believe they are, they've got another pay-per-view maybe in June. And I hear Oscar De La Hoya is fighting. He's coming back. He is training. As a matter of fact, him and I have been working out in the same gym. I saw him a few days ago. He looks fantastic.
Okay.
I'm ready for it.
Wow. I like that, when I was growing up, these celebrity matches were done in claymation. And that's how they would play out. But now we just have an entire business that can specialize in them. Listen, if two people want to get in the ring with each other and one of those people get completely mauled to hell, but still maybe get paid or not mind it, I'm fine with that. I think we should have Purge. Honestly, we should have like a Purge style, like maybe it's a week-long series of, if you have a grudge with someone, instead of taking it out on them in some sort of lame way, we just push it back and then we go, okay, well, we're going to throw you into the queue. You're going to fight in the Triller Purge, which is anyone who has a grudge with anyone can say, we're fighting, and then fight in a ring, and then everyone gets paid.
I'm on board with it, man. Like, you know me, I'm all for the gimmicks. I have talked about my unique MMA rule that I want to, that I think someone should incorporate. And for those listeners that may have missed that episode, I came up with an idea that I think would make MMA so fun and interesting. Can I run that? Should I tell them that?
I can see that our producer Eric is freaking out. He needs you to tell
the whole time, Sky. The whole time we're hitting each other up on Instagram, but like there was a robot that walked Jake Paul to the ring. Steve Urkel was there. Snoop Dogg was talking to Pete Davidson. Oscar De La Hoya was my favorite part of the entire show. It was incredible. But Sky, I cannot, I had to save it for the show. All I kept thinking was, this is the perfect venue for Sky's MMA idea. You put that in the Triller Purge ring, guys. This is the most genius idea.
Let's hear it. Is it cover the ring with banana peels? Because that was mine. What's yours?
No. So here's the rule. I'm going to go over it quickly. In an MMA fight, you are allowed one nut shot. Nut shot. Right. You can only use it in a defensive matter. You can't be on offense, about to knock your guy out, and you kick him. It's only got to be when you are in trouble. You have to save that nut shot. So let's say you get rocked with a good shot. You're about to go out. The guy swarms in to try to finish you off. Bam! Kick him right in his nuts. And then you get a break. Everyone has to stop the fight. I think it would be hilarious because imagine if you're the guy and you clip the guy and you want to swarm in to try to finish him, but at the same time you're like, oh boy, I need to
where his feet? Yeah. Where his feet?
Where his feet? I think it's
great.
I think it's fantastic. It's a great rule.
Speaking of feet.
Wait, hang on.
Speaking of feet.
Listen,
what?
James,
what's up?
I just think there needs to be a logical conclusion to this Triller fight. If there's a robot walking people to a ring, I need to see LL Cool J fight a horse. I'm putting that out there. I need this.
I feel like fighting a horse would be pretty easy if you stay in front of them. You gotta stay up with the horse because they got a big face and you just keep knocking on the face. If they turn around on you, if you see the horse's butt, then you're in trouble. That's the issue. Because they're going to kick back at you, and then you're going to get knocked in the skull. And then you're going to have to aim for the horse's nuts.
Man, we just lost.
And you can do that once.
all of our listeners that are horse owners, we just lost them all. Sorry.
We're not saying. Listen, we're not saying we want to fight a horse. We're just saying if we had to fight a horse. I feel like our horse-loving listeners would understand. They've been
had to fight a horse at one point.
I'm sure. But. Okay,
thank you to the 5 people still listening and are watching.
Speaking of getting kicked, I want to talk about some kicks. And I feel like you might have some opinions. Let's talk about kick out.
Yes, sir. I'm always a fan of talking about kicks. And speaking of kicks, you been watching Dynamite lately?
Of course I'm watching Dynamite lately.
See what the Young Bucks were wearing on Dynamite in their match? The Jordan Dior ones? Come on. This is about 9 racks for each shoe. 9 to 10, somewhere between 9 and 15 racks for a shoe for these high tops.
Can I tell you something? I want to pull back the curtain a little bit as a wrestling fan and on gimmick perception, right? So we talked about these shoes before the show started, and I was like, "Oh man, that's really cool." Didn't think that they were real. I thought that the joke was that they were wearing Dior shoes. I thought that was like part of the gimmick of, because the Young Bucks are now they're big, they're elite, they think they're better than everybody else now. And I thought the gimmick was that they had like written Dior on the bottom of their shoes, because the idea of a Dior shoe saying Dior on the bottom of it seems so silly to me. But apparently not, because the shoe, we found some listed, like a size 11 listed earlier this morning for like $16,000 or something.
Yeah,
so
I know Matt and Nick are size 11, 11 and a half. So, again, we're talking 9 to 15 racks. And no, they didn't just like write Dior. Those were like the real deal. The Young Bucks are the real deal, man. You see the money that sprays out. Obviously, it's not real money, but it could be if they wanted it to be. Those guys that's how they are, man. And the sneaker street cred that they got, I'm imagining, is got to be like through the roof. I'm so jealous. I'm disgustingly jealous over the street cred that they're going to get for it. I got to figure out how I'm going to get on that level, but I don't know if I ever will. We'll see.
Well, I mean, Dynamite just the other night, you had yourself a nice pair of shoes that you used to stomp a little bit. So
some Alexander McQueen's, about like $6, no big deal. Not 9 racks, but
I was gonna say, yeah. This is, by the way, I'm learning now that racks is a term. Is this specific to shoe buying?
No. Yeah, it's just money.
I know it's just money. I've just never heard anyone refer to it out of the context for shoes. So, but I learn. I like to learn on this show, and I think I speak for all the viewers who and our listeners who love horses and don't know that racks is a term for $1,000. That's the audience that I speak to, and then you speak to the audience that isn't stupid.
No, it's not it's just the hip hop community, the hood, if anybody knows me, I speak for the hood. I gotta keep it hip hop,
If you had to outdo the Young Bucks, because you have the shoe rep here, but if you had to outdo them, this is the new title in the line in AEW. You want to get a nicer pair of shoes that you can wear in the ring. What would you pick? Sky's the limit. No pun intended.
Really good question. I believe Eminem. There was like an Eminem Jordan or something that was out a couple years ago or something that were. Those might have been. I could be mistaken, but they might be somewhere in the 30s. There's the Red October Kanye West Nikes. Those are pretty high up there. Those might trump the Dior Jordans. I don't know. I have to do some research, and more importantly than that, make a whole lot more money to get on that Young Bucks level. Yeah, I'm not going to even try to pretend like we're in the same tax bracket.
Well,
there's levels.
If you're trying to make that raise, and you're trying to get a raise, make that money, I know who you're going to want to talk to. You're going to want to talk to the man, Tony Khan, our run-in this week. We are super excited to welcome our first official guest for Wrestling with the Week, Tony Khan. Okay, this man needs no introduction, but under his leadership, AEW has defied expectations, huge ratings, meteoric rise, game-changing content, just an incredible roster of wrestlers. It's crazy, it's wild. I mean, this is one of his several accomplishments, okay? And we're really excited to have him on the show this week. Tony, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, James. It's really nice to meet you.
Well, I'm really excited to have Tony on the show as our first official guest. Tony, thank you so much. I know for making the time. I know things are really crazy with everything going on with AEW and the Jags and Fulham, and just we've got the draft coming. And I know you're a crazy busy person normally. And it's probably tenfold now. So I just want to thank you for taking the time to do this.
No, it's great to see you. It's always great to talk to you, and to do it on your show is even better. So, always happy to talk to you, Sky, and James. It's great to meet you.
That's a kind of a good intro there, like talking about everything that you have and the balancing act that you do on a daily basis. It's very different from normal human beings, running a wrestling company and the Jags and Fulham and just and you have time to work out somehow, which is insane as well. So I would be curious, like, what is a day in the life of Tony Khan like? Like when from the time you wake up to the time you at some point go to sleep, like what is that like?
It just depends on the time of the year. I'm always working when I'm awake pretty much, and that's how it is. But I love all the different things I work on, and I don't sleep as much as I used to, and I definitely don't work out as much as I used to, but I still try to sleep and work out some. And I, divide my time. I might stay up all night scouting Fulham players while we're, waiting to get back and edit from the studio, on a tape segment for Dynamite. And then while I'm working on that, I could be waiting on scouting reports. So it's almost like a juggling act, while you're waiting on one thing, you try to make sure there's no wasted time. And I don't think there's a lot of people that have the different jobs I do. And I definitely don't run the Jags Urban Meyer and Trent, our new GM, we have great people here. We have a great head coach. And, so I'm one of the executives here. But at Fulham, I'm the general manager and director of football. So I'm, again, one of the people running things, and I'm in charge of the scouting and signing of players. And I work really hard on the scouting and recruitment part there. Also at AEW, being the CEO and working with all the wrestlers, working with yourself, working with the companies, and working with the networks, which is really important in our case with TNT, because that's really what keeps AEW in business, is our primary revenue stream, Dynamite, and our television partnership with Warner Media. And so it's a different kind of life than I ever expected, but I really enjoy it. And my dad runs several different companies, and he also, is practices time management. So I've been watching somebody do it my entire life. And, so that was good practice. There are other great CEOs out there that balance different companies and run a number of different companies. And so I think it can be done. And I've watched my dad do it really well his whole life.
I mean, you mentioned it, and I think it's something that's really cool, is that there is an amazing cross-section of legends of wrestling at AEW. There's legends of wrestling. There's people who are just like, have always been there, always kicking ass. And then I think you're also doing an amazing job building new legends too. Like, there are people, Sky's been around. We joke on the show that Sky only met me when we started doing this podcast, but I had actually met him several years prior when he leapt over the top rope of a local Southern California wrestling show that I went to and destroyed the chairs of the people sitting next to me. So it's fun to think about like building up these new personalities and giving them a new stage to kind of like show their stuff off.
Well, I've gone to some of those shows too, and that's a great, experience. And I love going to wrestling shows, and I encourage AEW fans to go to wrestling shows as much as they can, ours or whoever's. And that's, what being, I think, a wrestling fan is all about, following the wrestling business real closely. And I think, in the world of wrestling, it's starting to heat up right now. There's a lot of different companies, a lot of exciting stuff going on. And I think AEW is at the forefront of it. We've had a really exciting run on TNT, and we got several more years left on this contract, and hopefully many, many years ahead. So I think, I really appreciate what you're saying. I really believe in that, and that's what I've always wanted to have in a wrestling company. I'm not just a wrestling fan. I am a huge wrestling fan, but I'm somebody who's wanted to work in wrestling my whole life deep down, and Dynamite is something that I've been writing on paper at home for over 25 years. Over 26 years. Since probably early 95 is the first time I'd ever written a Dynamite. And, all through the late 90s and all through college and through the 2000s, I really kept doing it. And some of the stars changed, some of the people stayed the same, but it's something I've always done. Is I like, formatting and writing wrestling TV shows. I've really enjoyed doing it. And I think we've had some great shows, and I really enjoy that part of it. And so I've always wanted to do it. And that, I think, is not unusual, but it's not exclusive. Like, there are some people running wrestling companies that have always wanted to do it, but you'd be amazed. There have been some people running wrestling companies in these positions that a lot of the people listening right now would probably dream of being in, and are probably far more qualified than some of these people to be in. But these people who have no love or no passion for wrestling have ended up in these positions. It blows my mind. But I don't know why you'd put somebody in a position running a wrestling company who doesn't love wrestling, right?
Yeah.
Coming out of 2020, everything was so difficult for the wrestling business and for the world in general. Now it looks like we're kind of getting towards the end of that pandemic. Thank goodness. The vaccines are coming out and things are getting a little bit more under control, and hopefully we can get back to a little bit of normalcy. And so that would be the question I would love to know is for AEW going forward in the next 6 months, year, and beyond that, what can we expect? Like, where do you see AEW going?
I think hopefully, we'll be able to do some shows back on the road again. We've been in Jacksonville and the crowds have been so amazing. I think it's really important to note that we've done now so many shows going back in Jacksonville a year, but also that we started doing outdoor shows that I equated to basically the drive-in movie experience in professional wrestling. Outdoor shows with seating pods. People could come with their family or friends that, in a close group. And, August, we were still pretty early relatively in the pandemic, even though it felt like it had been a long time. And so we were doing the first outdoor ticketed shows, really. And even the Jaguars next door here in our same adjacent office came over and were benchmarking the stuff we were doing in August, because in September, Jaguars kicked off, and the first two NFL teams to let fans in week one, the only teams that had fans in the stands were the Jaguars and the Chiefs. And we've gone out and done it safely with these shows at limited capacity, spreading everybody out outdoors. It's a safe experience. And most importantly, not only have we provided a lot of fun and, again, the sense of normalcy and keeping people going through these live events. And it's been great for the company. It's kept the wrestling business going. It's kept us going. But it's been great for the fans. And the most important thing is we've done it safely. We've had 0 known transmissions at Jaguars games and at AEW, and we've done a ton of AEW shows dating back to August now with no issues doing them outdoors, socially distanced. And I think it's really important, to prevent any kind of outbreaks and take care of the fans. And we've been really careful to do that.
Tony, thank you so much for coming on. Honestly, again, we could talk to you for hours and hours and hours. We'd love to have you back if you got the time. This is a fun show. We love playing games and talking about a bunch of stuff, not just AEW. So feel free to come back anytime.
I love it. I'd love to come back often. And so please have me on anytime you need a guest and can't get somebody better. So thank you. Awesome. No, I really appreciate you guys giving me the time, and thanks for all the great questions. And James, it was real nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you too, Tony.
And Sky, I'll see you on Wednesday, sir.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. I will see you in Jacksonville when we're back at it. This has been great.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, man.
So if you want to see the entire Tony Khan interview, because we talked to him for like 45 minutes, it was crazy. Make sure to check out the audio version where we're going to put the full uncut interview. But it was a blast having him on. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, what a nice guy, right? Like he's so like, James, it's really nice to meet you. Like he's so sincere, Like it's so nice. It's so funny to me. Like he's just a nice guy.
I wish we had known a little bit better, because we definitely would have asked him about that raise for you so you can get those shoes.
Yeah, you're right.
You got to be the shoe guy.
Yeah. I just like, how do Tony, I need help one-upping the Young Bucks, So like, just break me off a little something. Put a little extra cheese on my Whopper, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Eric, what's going on? What do we got going next? Is it time for our hot tag segment?
Guys, get ready for the hot tag. This is, man. Okay. The amount that happened on Dynamite. I mean, it's not even just last night. It's every week. Dynamite is out of control. We got to start with what I feel is the hottest thing coming off that show last night. Darby Allin squeaked another one out, defended his TNT championship against Jungle Boy. But as soon as the match was over, our own Scorpio Sky and his ally, it's an alliance, not a tag team, it's an alliance, came down and did a little bit of wrecking crew work on the two guys in the ring. Do you think that Scorpio Sky accomplished everything that he needed to accomplish before Lance Archer goozled him?
James, go ahead and take a little bit of a break. Take a break,
Okay.
take a break,
Right.
take a breath, have a drink. I'm hot tagging in on this one. Did we accomplish everything we wanted to accomplish? Listen, let's break it down. First of all, my friend Ethan Page and I went out there looking as fresh as can be. I had the Alexander McQueen sneakers, the skinny jeans, the cool shirt, the nice watch, looking as good as I want to look. And we beat down Jungle Boy, and we beat down Darby Allin. And then Lance Archer tried to come out there, and we beat down Lance Archer. Everyone's going down. And then legendary tough guy Sting has to come out with a bat. A bat. Okay. All right. It is what it is. Sting's got his time coming. If he wants to get involved, then, he might find himself laying next to Jungle Boy and Lance Archer and Darby Allin next time. It's going down, baby.
Man, that was a hot tag, James. That you just got shut down, like out the gate. I don't know that we've had a hot tag that was just straight up at the top.
What am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to
Nothing.
say? I have nothing to add.
I think Sky said it all. Man,
Yeah.
I'm fired up. I can't wait to see what happens. I can't believe Sting came down with a bat.
Yeah,
I
Sting.
don't know,
What a
it's
coward.
the
What an
cowardly
absolute
Sting.
coward. He comes with a bat.
Oh
A
my
bat.
God.
Come
Oh,
on.
Sting. Hold on.
Coward.
There's two hosts to this podcast. Could you not call Sting a coward? Okay, because there's an association that you're developing here.
That man is
Okay,
a
all right.
coward.
All
and
right, great.
I'm,
All right.
my nickname used to be
Eric.
the King of Sting. And I'm
Eric,
going to prove it.
whoa! Oh, man. Guys, let's move on before James gets beat up by Sting. While the Elite are talking inside their beautiful trailer, Moxley and Kingston ram it with a pickup truck. Before they can get in, the Elite disappear. What happens next? And also, what else can get rammed? There's a lot of vehicles on in AEW. It's really
Yeah.
interesting.
Let me tag in on this one,
All right.
Eric. I love anytime a vehicle is used for any purpose, and I think AEW uses it in some of the best ways in wrestling history. This to me is a spiritual sequel to when Trent showed up with his mom, Sue. That the use of vehicles in AEW is just the best. Now, I don't know where they went to. I don't know what happened because they seemed like they were pretty deep in there. Maybe they slipped out the back or something like that. I would have loved to have seen the aftermath, but anytime you give me those stunts, baby, I love it. I love it.
Sky, anything to add?
The only thing I'm thinking about is what can I do to keep up with this? So maybe like Ethan Page and I can show up on one of those those bicycles where you're the two of you are on the bicycle together. Maybe
Tandem bike, yeah.
tandem bike. Maybe
Yeah.
Ethan Page and I show up on a tandem bike next time.
You
we
gotta
beat
be
up
careful.
Darby Allin.
Sting might stick the bat in the spokes and you guys are flying right off.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
you have to look out. The coward Sting with his bat.
He
Don't
would
say
do
that, Eric.
wouldn't
Come
he?
on. That's
He's a
2 out of 3
coward.
of us.
Oh,
No, come on,
my
guys.
God.
No, he's a legend. Come on.
Hashtag Sting is a coward.
Hold on. Don't put that hashtag anywhere near me. You're going to get me killed.
He's not a
Keep going,
wrestler.
Eric.
Let's
God.
keep going. Guys, the Inner Circle and the Pinnacle, they are going to have a parlay next week to discuss battle plans. It seems like this is at a fever pitch, and it's all moving to Blood and Guts on May 5th. What is going to happen with these two teams?
Let me tag in on this one. May 5th, first of all, if you are a boxing fan, is a huge holiday. Some of the biggest fights in the history of the sport have taken place on May 5th. Cinco de Mayo, one of my favorite holidays, by the way. And Blood and Guts will be no different. I am telling you, we have been waiting a year to do Blood and Guts, and sometimes things are worth the wait. This is the perfect scenario for the Pinnacle and the Inner Circle to get in there. These two teams are going to tear each other apart. It's going to be bloody, it's going to be violent, and it's going to be great. I can't wait for it.
Yeah,
James?
The only thing I want to add is that my favorite thing about this is I don't know who the good guy is. I don't know. It's pretty untraditional. And one of the team comes out and we go, oh, they're really mean pack of fellas there. And then the inner circle comes out and I'm like, oh, well, they're mean too. So I don't know. But I think both of them are mean and angry. And I can't wait to see, like Sky said, them tear each other apart.
It's going to be exciting. So a lot happened on Dynamite, but we can only get to one more thing. Ty Conti, who I would love to have on the show, I think would be fantastic. I would love to see what she has to say on the show. She unfortunately lost to Karu Shida in an incredible women's championship match. And as soon as the match ended, who is to appear but Britt Baker declaring herself the new #1 contender for the women's title? What do you think are her chances are as the next champ?
I'm hot tagging. Okay.
What?
Because I want to correct something you just said just then. #1, credit to that match. Ty Conti, Shida, amazing match. Huge, fantastic match. Big spots. I had a great, and it also set it up so she's not done. Ty Conti isn't done. She took Shida to the edge. That's something that you come back to do again. And on a different night, anything can happen. But I want to correct something you said about Britt Baker. You said she declared herself the #1 contender. That's not true. The statistics declared her the #1 contender. It's all there on the board. She pointed it out. She hasn't done any manipulation. She hasn't done anything except win and win and win to get to the point where she is. And I don't appreciate people coming out here and making it seem like she's manipulating something to make it happen. I don't appreciate, honestly, the way the champ Shida reacts to this when Britt Baker comes out and merely indicates where she belongs on the charts due to the statistical alignment. You'll see other wrestling organizations throw #1 contender spots around like it doesn't matter. AEW treats it like a statistical thing, and that's what I appreciate. And Britt Baker is merely just claiming what's hers. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. So,
wow. Am I able to talk now?
No, absolutely. Not about but not about that.
Yeah, well, listen. All I'm going to say is James was passionate about that.
Yeah, really.
Holy cow! Do we have ourselves a Britt Baker fan here?
Wow.
Of course, DMD.
Gosh. Oh,
man.
God.
Fired up. Well,
listen, I'm a fan of the whole women's division, the entire women's division, and everything that's happening around that belt. But I just don't appreciate the way people are coming in here and saying, what is she doing? She doesn't belong there. She's busting her ass on every single piece of AEW content, winning matches, getting the numbers up. Thunder Rosa can complain, but her stats aren't as good.
Your hot tag's over.
Yeah, hot tag's over.
What is happening? Man, I don't think I've ever seen James this passionate.
I'm looking at Thunder Rosa's over here by the pool, shadow boxing, and so I'm going to tell her what you said when this.
Hashtag here, put it on me. Hashtag Thunder Rosa is a coward.
We're gonna get beat up. We're gonna get beat up, and not like Sky's gonna be fine. We're gonna get beat up.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, that's all the Dynamite stuff, guys.
Okay,
we gotta move on. We got no time left.
Yep, we got no time.
We got a little bit of time left. I want to talk about the things that are going on outside the ring for a minute.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Let me hop in here really quick because tonight is the night. From what I am seeing, Anthony Davis is returning to the Los Angeles Lakers. He's been out for 2 months with an injury, an Achilles-type injury. It's very scary. I must say, I am nervous. I am incredibly nervous. I hope that he is. I hope he's 100% healthy. I hope he's ready to go, and I hope he doesn't re-injure himself. And then the next piece is getting LeBron back, and then we get that 18th championship, baby. I'm ready. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. So all right. So you believe that's going to make that much of a difference? All right. Okay.
AD is the man.
I listen. I trust you. As we know, I don't follow basketball. But anytime you say something, I always check the news later, and I go, he was right.
Ha! Yes, that's right.
He was right.
That's right.
Just
like you're going to check the news later, it's going to say Sting is a coward.
Oh my
God! A coward!
No,
damn it! It's going to be on the news later.
Please. Outside the ring.
Sorry, outside the ring.
Yeah, I don't have much. I was going to ask you if you've seen any good movies lately, because I actually saw one a couple nights ago that I think you might enjoy, called Nobody, starring Bob Odenkirk. Have you seen this movie yet?
No, I've seen previews. It looks interesting.
It's so I think it's the kind of thing where you can only rent it, but it's definitely worth a rental. It's from the dude who wrote John Wick, and it is a ton of fun. I mean, it feels very much like a John Wick movie, but imagine if Keanu Reeves was maybe more funny. If the world was like funnier, and the movie didn't take itself so seriously. But it has pretty incredible action, and it's a pretty badass story of this like regular dude with a secret who goes on a murder spree against a bunch of bad guys. But I was watching it and I was like, I feel like Sky would be into this.
I will check it out. I'm into that. I'm very interested in that, and maybe I'll have time to see it this weekend. I'm actually getting my first vaccine shot tomorrow, so I'm very excited about that. And so maybe I'm just going to kick back and watch a movie as well as jumping on my NBA 2K, because I got to do it.
I was going to say, is Anthony Davis back in your NBA 2K? Did you, for accuracy's sake, did you have him out from your team or no?
I actually did, but he came back. I had him and LeBron out, and then they both made their comeback because I'm a little bit ahead of time, and we did defeat the Nets in 7 games in the NBA Finals, and now I'm in the off season, and I've got some really big moves planned. I can't reveal them yet because I don't want to put them out into the universe, and maybe I get backstabbed by the universe. But I've got some really big off season plans. I'm going to do my off season this weekend when I get home, and I will update you guys next week about what I do. You're not going to believe it. You're not going to believe what I'm about to do. I am an incredible GM, and I am about to make some power moves. We're going for a 3-peat.
I'm gonna make a team to play online against you, and the team is going to be comprised entirely of basketball players in Sting makeup. So just so you know, they wear all black, and they.
That's it.
Yeah,
cut it off.
That's what I'm going to do with my time.
I'm done.
Yeah. All right. That's enough of what's going on outside the ring. This is a new segment. I'm really excited about this new segment as we come kind of towards the end of the show. And it's a little segment called 15 Seconds with James.
James, what's going on?
So a lot of this show is obviously focused on the wrestling world and kind of what's going on in Sky's world, because some would say his world is much more interesting than mine, and I would agree. But I just wanted to say, in the world of James, I got into a pool recently, and it was really cold. Thank you for my time.
And that was 15 Seconds with James. That is a new hot segment. I love it. That's going to be my favorite segment of the show. Mm-hmm. We get to learn all about you, man. This is great. This is a new friendship. So I'm excited to get these 15 seconds every week.
Yeah. Learning about me is like slicing cheese. You don't want to take too much. Okay. Just a little bit at a time. Is that let's see? I mean, yeah. Think about that. Think about that. I should have said that should have been my 15 seconds. That should have been it. All right. Thank you, everybody, for an amazing episode back. We're not done. Eric, what's the finish?
Guys, it's time for the finish. In one word, give me your thoughts on Sting. Sky, go first.
Coward!
James, go ahead.
Sting is a complicated.
One word.
Yeah. Legendary.
Coward.
Yeah. Oh, no, I didn't say that. No.
Legendary.
And that's the finish.
That's the finish. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for this episode of Wrestling with the Week. We're back. We hope that you check us out every single week. We love having you. We love the support you guys gave us over the time we took off. We hope you like the new changes. If there's things you want to see from this show, do not hesitate to reach out to us on basically every single social platform you can at WWTW Pod, Instagram, Twitter, all these places. If you want to reach out to us individually, you can find us on Twitter or Instagram. Myself, James Williams Feed on Insta, James Williams on Twitter. Sky?
Scorpio Sky on Twitter and Instagram, baby. And Scorpio Sky Official on TikTok. Holla at me.
Oh, yeah. I saw you're doing TikToks now, huh?
Yeah, you know, a little bit of. Uh-huh.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
I don't either. TikTok
thank you everybody for watching, listening. We have a ton of other fun things planned. So please check out the episode next week. And again, thank you to Tony Khan for hanging out with us. And if you want to see that full uncut video, make sure to check out the audio version. Sky, any final thoughts?
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This is the first episode of season 2. We're trying out some new things, having a lot of fun, and we're going to come right back next week, every week live, baby. We're not canceled yet. We're hanging on by a thread. We still out here. Let's go.
Britt Baker did nothing wrong, and Sting is a legend. Don't cut me off. Don't you cut me off. I have things I need to say. The statistics say, they literally point out.
Go to the credits. Roll the credits.
Hold on. Don't interrupt me. It's a numbers thing. It's a numbers thing, okay?
Go hard or just stop. From the bottom to the top, gotta push through it all. You the one, do it all. You the one, do it all.